right.
Eye on that phone, make sure I don't need to do anything.
Well, good morning and welcome to the Brekkie with the Guy Who Sews. Today is the 14th of October, if I can remember correctly, although I'll make no promises. And I had my friend Katy from Greenland Quilter with us. She's been on with us once before, but we thought it'd be fun to come back and sew clues 3 of the, not Village Green, Carnival Puzzle Mystery Quilt by Cotton Cuts. See, my coffee hasn't quite kicked in yet, so I might have to have some more of that in just a second. So a lot of you guys know Katy. She's getting very, very close to 1,000 subscribers, which is, if you're a content creator, know it is an absolutely enormous milestone. So we're hoping to get her a little closer to that landmark. So for anyone that doesn't know Katy, do you want to just briefly say, who you are, what your channel's about, and just a little bit more about yourself?
Sure. My name's Katy, and I'm an American that's living in another country. I got married to a native Greenlander, and I moved to his home country, Greenland, and I've been living here now for 12 years. My channel is about quilting along with my life here in Greenland and other little things that I do to stay busy because he works on a big factory shrimp trawler, so he's gone 2 months at a time and he comes home for 2 months. So I started learning how to make quilts in 2017. And I started doing that to help give me something, additional to do to pass by the time.
No, I think that's great. And you've explained your story about how you moved to Greenland and that sort of thing there over on your own channel. And I think it'd be great if people go, it's a wonderful, interesting story. And I think it'd be great if people go over and check out that video because, yeah, it's always interesting to hear how people, end up in different countries. I mean, I think I've explained my story a few times myself, and I just think, it'd be easier and more fun. And, it'll give Katy some watch hours too, if you head over there and check that out. To find Katy's channel, it is pinned at the top of today's chat. You can also hit !Katy, which is Katy, because it's you can spell Katy one of about 17 different ways,
Yep.
or !Guest. If you're watching the replay, you can also, I'll pin it in the comments below, and you can also grab it in the description as well. So that way you can check it out. But let's see who is here with us this morning. My friend Stephen Bland from Bland Designs and Idiot Quilter is here, and he has a retreat next week. I believe it is full, but if you're interested in joining, it's always a good time. Get in contact with him and jump on that wait list because, people do drop off that list. They have last minute things and that sort of thing there as well. Russ from Quilt Meets World is with us. It's always good to see him. Russ for him if you're if you want to check out his channel. If you haven't, you need to. It's a lot of fun. Quilting in the Man Cave, Rob, good morning. He has a channel as well. I think it's !Rob, but I'm not 100% sure. Kathy Klein is with us. My sister, Shelley Island, is here. Good evening, Shelley. It's good to see you. It's always great when my sister joins me on my live. We need to get her on a live one day. We'll have to see how that works out. Cynthia Maria Fields says, hi, Sean and fellow quilters. Please give a thumbs up. It does help out immensely if you hit that thumbs up button because it shows YouTube that you're liking this and it pushes it out and helps grow our little channels just a little bit more. Good morning, Fallon. It's good to see you here with us. Sorry, just have to fix something real quick. Come on, be nice to me. Okay. Now it's misbehaving. Okay, Kathy is here with us. Joyce, good morning. Hey, Sean, Katy, and everybody. Donnell from Donnell Stitchery is here with us. Good morning, and definitely check out her channel as well. !Donnell, which is Donnell. All I have to do is look at the screen, right? I'm so silly. Let's just go. Okay, sorry, I'm just having technical issues. Chloe Morgan is here with us. Mary G. Inez is here with us from Newfoundland in Canada. So she's actually like just your neighbor. Kind of. Kathy Hudgens and Katy J. And we'll have more people filter in as the morning goes on because we start super early and not everybody is awake and ready and going at 8 a.m. or 6 a.m. or 7 a.m. or whatever time it is. Sometimes we have some folks coming in at 5 o'clock in the morning on the West Coast. Good morning, Jeannie. Okay, so what did we decide to come and do today? We got to do something just a little bit special for it. And this was actually Katy's idea, and I thought, hey, let's do it. So what are you going to make this morning?
Okay, so I'm going to be working on my Carnival PMQ, and mine is bomb pop, just like Sean's, but mine's the large version versus his is the small version. So that's what I'll be working on, clue 3 with him. And it'll be interesting to see what our blocks look like at the end.
Yeah, I think so. Like I've had different creators come on and join me. And I actually had Chloe join me, who was one of my viewers and doesn't have her own channel yet, earlier this year. But I don't think I've ever had a guest come on and sew the same colorway as me. So it's going to be fun to see someone do the same colorway as me in a different size, because for anyone that isn't aware, they offer 2 sizes. The small is about 45 by 60 inches, and which is about 120 by 151 centimeters for the metric folk. And then the large is about 72 by 72 inches, correct?
Yep.
Yes, which is about 183 centimeters by 183. So yeah, I think it's gonna be fun. Sometimes I have to make different blocks for the large because it's basically a square, the smalls are rectangles. So Sheila, who's the lady that designs all this, has to make it just, yes, a little bit different. And yeah, sometimes our clues are a little bit different. So let's see. I'm going to go ahead and get started, so that way we can get this finished during the time frame, hopefully. Mine is fairly easy. It's a couple of strips. I've already made one. Because what I do with mine, and I'm sharing the secrets. And
Can I
yeah,
answer their question?
Sorry?
Can I answer their question?
Yes.
So I'm 2 hours ahead of Eastern Standard Time, 3 hours ahead of Central Time, 4 ahead of Central Mountain Time, and 5 ahead of Pacific Time. But when all of you guys fall back next month, we're not going to fall back. So that's going to increase my being an extra hour ahead of you guys during the fall.
Yeah. No, and that's always interesting. Like I work in international shipping, so I'm used to dealing with folks in the Atlantic time zone, the UK time zone, mainland Europe, and then obviously most of the US and Canadian ones as well. But yeah, Greenland's not one of the places we visit. So, there we go. So, yeah, I think it'd be fun to see. Yeah, thank you for that question, Joyce. It was really good. Yeah, let me know in the comments or the chat what time it is where you currently are at. Because I know like it's 8:08 here in the East Coast. Shelley, my sister, said it's 11:07. Oh, they must have gone to daylight savings. Because it was 10 o'clock there last time. Okay, so yeah, all my East Coast Australian friends might start dropping off soon because it gets super late. Like once we drop back next month, it'll be after midnight when we start our lives on a Saturday morning here. So I didn't realize.
Just in case somebody asked about the time thing, the reason that Greenland is just 2 hours ahead instead of the 4 hours like Iceland and the Europe is because Greenland is part of North America. So that's why there's such a slight difference in time from the East Coast of the United States versus us.
Yeah, I thought that was interesting because like when you and I started talking, I thought you would be like 3 or 4 hours ahead, because I know the Atlantic Maritime provinces in Canada, like New Brunswick, Nova Scotia, Prince Edward Island too, I think. Someone can correct me if I'm wrong on PEI, is an hour ahead of Eastern. And Newfoundland, where Inez is it's an hour and a half ahead of us. So she's at 9:39, which she just put in there for me. So we've got a couple of folks here from the Pacific time zone at 5:08, which, I was still in bed asleep.
Early.
Oh, it is. It just absolutely.
Oh my gosh.
It amazes me every week that I have at least a handful of folks on pretty much when we start, and it's 5 o'clock. So that is absolutely amazing here. Shelley says daylight saving started on the King's birthday long week. When did that change? I thought the Queen's birthday was in June, a couple of weeks ago. Okay, see, I need to get back up on Australian news because apparently I'm missing stuff. See, I'm getting an education here. So yeah, because like when we had Lizzie, the Queen's birthday was always in June, unless I'm like, maybe I fell over and bumped my head or something. And so now it's in October. I think Labor Day is in October in Australia, but I don't know. Who knows? See, I'm learning stuff all the time.
Can you hear my machine when I was running it?
I don't think so.
Okay, because I wanted to make sure the settings.
Yeah,
is-
Zoom does a really good job of cutting out the background noise, like the sewing machine and that sort of thing there. It's one of the reasons I like using Zoom on my lives, because it makes it so much easier. So this is going to be this is my third puzzle mystery quilt. The first one I did was So Sweet, which I did in the Benet colorway, which was a beautiful set of batiks. It was white, orange, green, red, and blue. And then Village Green, I'm just about to finish. And so this is number 3. How many have you done altogether?
Me?
Yes.
Oh my goodness. I started out with Stratford, and my colorway was Titania. So this one's like I started in the fall of 2018, so one.
So you've done a lot.
I think I'm around number 11 as far as how many times I've signed up, but
Right.
some of them I've done. I have 2 of them, 2 different colorways. Like my Village Green, I'm only doing 1 colorway,
Right.
begonia, and on my Carnival, I'm doing 2 colorways. One's the Spawn Pop that we talked about already, and I'm also doing hot air balloon. So I kind of bounce back and forth. I'll do, there was a period of time where I did just 1 for like 3 times in a row, and then I jumped on doing 2, but I've never done more than 2 at a time. But I have quite a few EMTs now, so yeah.
Yeah, there's some. I know that I see some folks do 3 or 4 or that sort of thing there. I do 1 at a time, and I'm an ambassador for Cuts for the Puzzle Mystery Quilt. So they actually send me the all the clues and the kits free of charge, which I think is really, really neat. And then in exchange, I just promote and show me assembling these on my social media platform, which is primarily YouTube. So it's a nice little partnership, and I love the company dearly. I think they're a wonderful group of people. And so this is the first little part that I've done.
Well, I think from my perspective, I can only manage doing 2. I don't know how somebody does 4 of them. And I know a few people doing 4 of them, and I'm just amazed that they can even handle that.
Yeah, I'd be curious to see, like, the folks that do multiples of them, is it something that's basically what they sew? Because the joys of this is once you get your package, you just unpack it and sew. You don't have to do any cutting or anything else like that. You just open it up, you grab your clue, it's 2 pages. If the first one shows you the completed blocks and gives you, tells you how many pieces you're supposed to have. And it's always good to check because there are some people that occasionally, people are human. They usually put the right amount in. I've never had an issue, but there have been some where they are missing pieces. And if you do, you just contact them real quick and say, hey, I'm missing, this piece, and they'll, ship it right out to you. No problems there. But it's good, that's page 1. Then the page 2 is just the assembly instructions, and then you're all good to go. But it's really nice that you don't have to sit there and cut anything. And there are some people out there that, have arthritis or other issues where they can't really cut, or it's difficult for them to cut. So this is a really good project for them because they don't have to, do that step. And, the gnomes are the same. The gnomes are the same way. They've got a gnome project. They bring out a gnome each month, and they're all little, 2.5 inch squares or half square triangles. And they go together the same way, and that's a lot of fun too. I've got a couple of the gnomes and really enjoyed it. I don't have any nearby where I can show you, unfortunately, but they're a lot of fun as well. So Fallon says it's finally cooling down here, 63 degrees outside. Happy to be out of triple digits. Yeah, I can imagine that would be quite pleasant. What's the weather like up in your part of the world? Like, is it starting to cool down? And what is your temperature range?
You'll be surprised about yesterday. Yesterday, we had 11 degrees Celsius. And this
Okay.
is this is October. But it's been getting down around 32, 35, well, 35 to 32 at night. And you know, usually it's a little bit, this is, well, we're mid-October now, so we should have already started seeing the early signs of winter, but right now we feel like we're still in fall.
Okay. Yeah, we've
Um,
only really kind of hit fall here. Like it's starting to be nice and
There is no snow here, but up north, like in Sissymoot, my husband showed me a picture because that's where he went to get on his ship at, and there's snow on their mountains up there, so it has snowed a little bit up there.
okay. Yeah,
But
my
he
wife's
said
a big.
oops, sorry.
Oh, you're fine. Go ahead.
He said that it still felt really warm though, because he took his winter jacket with him because he'll be coming home when it's cold, and he said it was still too warm for the jacket. I'm like, yeah, I noticed that when I went, I stopped wearing a parka. I think I'm going on my fourth winter of not using a parka because it's too hot for me now. It's
Oh,
weird.
okay.
Also,
You're acclimatized.
yeah, and not only that, our temperatures are not drastically cold as when I first moved here. It's changed a lot. Uh-oh, I think I focused on the wrong side.
No, that happens. See, that's why I use petites because then that. Well, you're using the same as me. Never mind.
Yeah. Yep,
All
I
right. So
just
I've done
on
this.
the wrong side.
Yep. So I've done this little section. I mean, I will definitely tell you. You know, there's no holds barred here. I keep it real. I am not perfect. I could tell you probably without exception, for the most part, I don't think there's a single clue that I do that I had to pull out my very, very bestest friend. So far, I've done okay with this one, but you know, the clue is young. Okay, so we've done these two little pieces.
Oh, yours is definitely going to look different on that part. That's
Yeah.
interesting.
So we'll join this together, and then that will be step 3A. So this one's coming together super quick. And if you're doing the whole thing, you're actually making two of these. But what I do with mine is I sew one part on alive, and then I also do a time lapse for each clue as well. So I kind of split my clue into half. So that way you can kind of see both. And plus it also allows me to get my clue done within the hour and a half that we're doing our live, because I talk and I answer questions and then I get distracted and, you know, go down rabbit holes and all that good stuff there as well. So it looks like my friends, Jamie from the Quilting Compound is here. She says it's 8:13 in Kentucky, so she's not that far away from me. Christine's, good morning. It's good to see you as well. And then it says it was 11 degrees yesterday. Beautiful day at the cottage. Now she's in Celsius, so that's about like 46, 40, yeah, like 50, I think it is.
Yeah, upper 40s, low 50s, somewhere around there.
Yeah, see, the boys love, like, we have two exchange students for anyone that's new here, and one's from Italy, one's from the Czech Republic, and it takes them a long time to learn the US measurement system. It took me a long time to learn it too. So they're very very grateful that their host dad knows metric and can just convert it, you know, reasonably quickly for them. So
you should tell your Czech Republic young man that I have a German Shepherd that came from there.
Oh, really? Okay, I'll have to tell him that when he wakes up.
That's where Coda come from.
Oh, nice. Yeah, one of my viewers contacted me a few weeks ago, and she said she's from the Czech Republic too, and she's one of the ladies that has like 8 dachshunds. So she's already one of my favorites, but now I think it's even better that, you know, she's from the same country as Simon. So, all right. So with that, we have finished clue, well, section 3A, and I did the time lapse on this. I'll release it not next week, the week after, but I think this is the first time, at least in the small, that we've used all 6 colors. Well, actually, no, there's not all 6 colors. Just the other colors.
Did you notice that? Did you? I don't know if you have this color in your colorway. Did you see this color?
Yeah, that's what's right here.
That's an interesting color.
It is. So there we go. So that's section 3A. I might actually finish this before the live's over, but that's okay because I come up with a backup plan if that happens. So
Yep, because I'm slow sore.
Oh no,
I-
you're fine. Well, you got yours is bigger than mine, so
Yeah,
you
more
have
to
more
do.
yeah, more to do. So, and I've already done this once. So, okay. Let's see. Ingrid did something exciting. What did Ingrid do? Or maybe they're talking about Inez. I don't know. All right. Ingrid says, hi, Sean and Katie. On my way to go meet a rescue puppy. Okay. Well, I hope that's great. I'd love to hear an update on that.
Yeah, that's cool.
I love doggos. We have two of our own, and little Finley and Mr. Copper, and I'm sure anyone that's watched my channel has seen them on my weekend review. But yeah, it's always nice to rescue whenever you can. Most of our dogs have been rescues. Finley was not. She actually was an oops puppy from a friend of ours, and Amanda always wanted a puppy, so we figured we'd go that way. But yeah, we always, whenever we need want a new dog, well, you need them. I mean, it's you need them in your life. They're such a joy. I'm going to go if you need them. We always go visit our local rescues or shelters and that sort of thing there, and get them from there because they all need a good home.
Yeah, see here, there's 2 or 3 male dogs run loose all the time, and I really don't know who they belong to, but there's a lot of pup and adult dogs running around. And you can tell they were fathered by that same couple of male dogs, and I'm not, which means there's line breeding going on, and I'm not going to bring in a line bred dog.
Right.
But we are going to get another dachshund, and because Coda turned 9 in July, and he'll probably be okay this winter, but I don't know about next winter. He's really showing his age. And I'm sad. I'm sad because I know it's going to come soon.
Yeah, we won't go there. We want to try and keep it positive. I won't.
It's a circle of life.
It is. But all right. So we'll figure with I'd like to learn a little bit more about you and that sort of thing there. I mean, you and I have talked, pretty well. I mean, I've been trying to help you out wherever I can recently. And
I appreciate it.
Oh, not a problem. I mean, I'm more than happy to help out as many people as I can, that are starting their own YouTube journey. So if you ever if it's something that you want to do and you have questions, reach out. My time is limit. I don't have limitless time. Oh, that looks beautiful.
These are lovely.
Oh, I'm in love with this. Like, I picked out the Bomb Pop colorway because I wanted something with high contrast this time, and I thought this would be a lot of fun. I've never done a red, white, and blue line before, but yeah, these colors are absolutely amazing. I'm really, really enjoying this. All right, let me know in the chat if you're hanging out with us. If you've ever done one of these puzzle mystery quilts, and if so, which one you've done, or if you're doing the carnival with us, which colorway you're doing with us. I know some of us are doing it, and some of us have done it in the past. I'll be very interested to see how that, or if it's something that you've done, because I really enjoy doing them. All right, so let's talk. You've talked about, when you first learned the quilt and that sort of thing now, and the reason behind it. Let's talk a bit more about your channel real quick, because I know you've been a long-time viewer of many of us, including Becca, but recently, like within the last, 6 months, you decided to go ahead and get your own channel. Do you want to tell us what motivated you to do that?
Well, I've been living here, like I said, for 12 years, and so I have 12 years of videos of Greenland, and I also have, and I'm not exaggerating, you can go look on my Flickr page. I have 11,000 pictures on my Flickr account, and most of it's Greenland. And the pandemic kind of, I can't really explain why it made me feel this way, but I realized that none of us are promised the next day. So I had to, earlier in the year, this year, I realized I had a burning desire to get my videos up, make videos of my, quilting and crocheting and gardening and cooking, along with lots of stuff about Greenland. and I'm also writing a blog, and the blog is going to be more is geared to the same thing, but there's also going to be writings about things before I moved here to Greenland. And I just I'm doing all this because I want something left that if something were to happen to me, I'm not saying anything's going on, but if something did happen, my kid, my adult children, and my grandkid could watch the videos and say, "Oh, that's grandma," or "That's my mom," and they have a way of going and seeing me doing something, and it helps soothe the heart when you lose a parent.
Sure. And I've, it's morbid to think about, but it's not the reason I started the channel. But it is nice to know that, if something were to happen or when something does happen, hopefully, people years from now can go back and go, hey, look, this is the guy who sews, and this is some of the fun stuff he did, like I think for me too, I think it's a nice way to keep a catalog of what I've done over the last year or
Yeah.
two since I started. So there's a lot of fun stuff there.
And
All right.
living in Greenland's given me an opportunity to share this country with people who probably will never have a chance to cross the pond, because a lot of people don't have the money to do that kind of thing. And I was raised in Florida, and I basically, even into my adult years, and I only have ever been to certain states, and the rest of the United States I've never seen in my life. So it's a great thing when you get to experience some different things. And also the thing about living here in Greenland, um, I didn't know what culture meant, because we really don't talk about culture in our country. Not
Mhm.
that I know of anyway. I know growing up, I never even understood what culture meant. And then when I got over here, I now get a good understanding of what culture is, because culture is about what's passed down from one generation to the next. The Inuits have kept a lot of the same lifestyles that the dates all the way back to the Stockholm age, and a lot of things they still do today that they did way back then. Only technology has advanced so much that some of what they would have some of the tools they would have used back then now have advancements they don't have to do it the old way.
Yeah, I think you really truly appreciate culture or the differences until you actually go and visit or live in a different country.
Yeah,
Uh,
it's
I
interesting
definitely
how,
get that.
yeah, it's suddenly you're it's my sister, my youngest sister, she moved to Spain when my about a month after my oldest daughter was born, and that was 36 years ago. And she would say things that I couldn't understand, that she would say something that was going on in the US and how it's viewed overseas. And I understand that now, because it's like your eyes are open wide. You're seeing what you wouldn't normally see if you stayed in your home country.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, like I've been fortunate enough. I've traveled, to a few different countries. I've been to New Zealand, which if you've never been there, you should
Oh, I would
definitely
love to go there.
definitely make the trip one day. I think you'd enjoy it a lot. I've been to, quite a bit of the eastern part of Canada, um, and then Nicaragua, which is down in Central America between Honduras and Costa Rica. I'll get the countries right. And that was a real eye opener as well, because it's such a beautiful country, but there's so much poverty and that sort of thing there. But just meeting the people, even though I can't really talk to them because my Spanish is horrendous. If you go look at my day 12 of Vlogtober and you see me trying to pronounce the title of the thing, it's absolutely horrendous. But my accent butchers it too. Like even when I say the right words, it doesn't come out right. So I just come to the realization that I will never ever speak Spanish, and that's okay. All right. So I was asking earlier about who is doing or who has done or who is doing a puzzle mystery quilt. Chloe is working on clue 3 of the snow cone. She's also trying to finish up clue 9 of the village green tulip, which is the black and white one. Joyce says she has never done a mystery box. Mary G has never done one, but she's got to do the next one. And I think the sales for that start in December, early part of December, I think, if it's correct. And they're still working on the final details, but we know the name of the next giveaway, not the next giveaway, the next puzzle mystery quilt, right, Katie?
Yeah, we know the name of it. We just don't know about the colorways yet.
Yeah, no, I think they're still finalizing that. Do you want to tell the viewers what the next one's called? Because Kim did say we could tell everybody, correct?
She didn't say we couldn't.
I think she said we could tell them. Well, you know what? Well,
Yeah.
if we get in trouble for it, we get in trouble.
Yeah, that's all right. She can't keep secrets forever. Besides, come the beginning of right after the end of this, they'll probably start. Yeah. So the name of the next, what do you call it when you
PMQ, Puzzle Mystery Quilt.
Yeah, the next, well, yeah, I was trying to find a different name, but that's okay. The next PMQ is going to be called the Tree of Life.
Mm-hmm. I know. I think it's such a fun.
Yeah, because that that could mean anything. You know what I mean?
Yes.
But as far as I know, unless she's changed her mind, we will get to pick names again for each colorway or vote on the colorways based on what they did last time, or for Carnival, is they posted inside their group. We'll give you a list of names for this particular colorway, and they showed the colorway. And everybody could vote on what they thought would be the best name for that particular colorway. And so we did all of that through that whole process. So all of us participated in naming all of the colorways for Carnival.
Yeah, and that was a lot of fun. That was really enjoyable. I know I enjoyed it. A lot of my viewers said they enjoyed it. And yeah, Kim said that she's planning on doing that again. A lot of the viewers probably don't know. Do you want to tell your secret on how you have all the inside scoop on this?
As a PMQ detective, because that's what we're called, every third Thursday we can attend a evening Zoom free. You don't pay anything for it. Mm-hmm. And come in and you sew if you want to. Most of us do sew, but if you don't want to sew, you don't have to. That's not a requirement. You just come in and you can sit and talk and ask questions. You can do about anything. And yeah, and it is a good way to make new friends. So that's how. And this last Zoom of last month, Kim was hosting it herself instead of Jessica, and she dropped that little secret about the name of the next PMQ.
I know, yeah, because I had to go, because I actually attended that Zoom, and I was about to go, and she's like, no, you need to stay for 5 minutes because I've got something real exciting to share, and I'm glad I stuck around. So yeah, that's how we got the inside scoop on that, which was really, really neat. So yeah, we didn't do anything particularly special, and you'll have access to that as well. So the third Thursday, that would be this coming Thursday, correct?
Yeah, we're going to have one this coming Thursday, yes.
Yes.
So be it. If you go to my channel and go under the live tab, you're going to see 2 live videos, and it's the second one. It says Friends to Forever on the thumbnail. Me and my husband this past Sunday sat down and went live to talk about how we came together and how we met, because it would take me a while here to talk about it now because it's a very long story. So, but if you don't mind going and viewing it from there, you'll see how we became a couple.
Yeah, I'll try and throw the link in the chat. In the chat real quick. Just bear with me a moment, and we'll do that. Yeah, I was going to say the same thing. Like, just head over and check out the video there, because they do it in so much more detail, which is nice.
Yeah, we go into super detail. I mean, every step of the way.
Yeah.
And we're going to be celebrating our 13th anniversary on January the 2nd. There's something wrong with this iron. It's leaking water.
Okay, so the link to that video that we're just talking about is in the link. Okay, Teresa has a good question coming in for us. She asked, does my online guild cost? And the answer to that is an emphatic no. I don't want to deal with money. I don't want to have money as a barrier for anyone wanting to join the guild. For anyone that doesn't know what the guild is, we did come up with a name eventually. It's called Quilt and the Gang. It's just a fun little meeting that we do once a month. We just hop on Zoom and we basically do a lot of show and tell, because you guys get to see what I make every week on my podcast, but I don't always get to see what you guys make. And I love seeing what my viewers get up to, because seeing other projects and other quilters and what they get up to inspires me a lot. And I just love seeing what it is. So this is a good way for me to be able to do that. I put all the links and everything else in our Discord group. And yeah, there is no cost. We talked about that at the very beginning. I did not want to collect dues. I don't see the sense in collecting dues on an online guild because we don't really need to. We are not affiliated with any quilt guild association like the Modern Guild of America, Modern Quilt Guild of America, or anything else like that. So we don't need to pay dues to them. We're not renting a building or anything else like that. So yeah, we just I've decided to make it free for all. And if you are interested in joining, you're more than welcome to come, and we'd love to have you. And we normally meet on the last Sunday of each month at 8 p.m. Eastern. So the next meeting is a couple of weeks away. I think it'll be on the 29th of October. So if you are interested in joining, I'll put out more details as we get closer. But if you hop over to our Discord group, which I'll put the link in this chat real quick, you can go over there and go to the Quilt Guild and get more information there. And then in early 2024, we're actually in the early planning stages of actually having an online quilt show. And so we would encourage our members to, submit quilts and they'll get judged. I've actually lined up a official judge that is certified. It's just going to be for fun, like it's nothing serious. We thought it'd be a good way for people to dip their toes into doing a quilt show and that sort of thing there. But I actually have a friend of mine who is a certified quilt show judge, and she is she's volunteered her time to come and judge the quilt. She just got to send photos in, so that way it doesn't matter if you live in the US, the UK, Greenland, Australia, New Zealand, wherever you're watching from. If you want to jump in and have fun in the smallish quilt show, you're more than welcome to do that. We'd love to have you there as well. So that's hopefully that answers.
When are you going to be doing that?
Probably early next year. We're very, very, very much in the early planning stages. We want to get through the holidays and that sort of thing there. So whether it's the first or second quarter of next year, I honestly don't know yet, but the wheels are starting to turn on that little project.
That's outstanding news. I think I'll participate in that.
I would love you to. Yeah, I think it'd be fun to have as many people as that they want as hop in. It'll just be for bragging rights. We won't have any physical prizes, unfortunately, this time around. We may do something next time, but then again, there's no entry costs, so that'll be nice too. We're trying to keep it free wherever we can. So all right, and it looks like I'm just about done with my clues, which is really, really neat. So
I guess the girl will do it.
All right, good morning, Martha. It's good to see you. I know you're heading out to work shortly, but it's good for you to hop in for a little bit and have you join us. What is everybody else working on this weekend? I mean, I'm probably going to be working on about 15 different projects. All right, so this is clues section, no, not clue, section 3B. I'm going to call it by its proper name in a second. And so that's section 3B, and I have done section 3A. And so I think I'm just about done with this, but I have another project I'm going to pull out in just a second, so we can, maybe it's this way. So there, how are you progressing with yours, Katy?
I'm going along. I'm working on the second part. I already finished the first part.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm working on
That
it's gonna
is
take me a few
done.
minutes. Do you hear
Oh,
that?
no, you're fine.
Do you hear that feedback? Where's it coming from? It must be on my laptop it's coming from.
Maybe. And Zoom might be filtering it out. So good evening, Jan. It is good to see you. I was wondering where you were. Normally Jan is hanging out with us right when we start because it's only 8:40 p.m. where she is. But no, don't worry about being late. It's always good to have you whenever you can make it with us. All right, so let's move on to my second project that I was going to work on today if I finished early, which I have. And that is a collab that I'm doing with my friend Becca from So Becca. And we've been working on some pandas together, and I thought I could continue on that.
Look who's here, Christine. Welcome to the live. I'm excited to see you come in. Yeah.
Ooh, okay, it's nice to meet her. I don't know that I've run across Christine.
She's been doing PDMQs for a little while too, and she's one of the core ones that shows up every third Thursday in the.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's really neat. Okay, so well, thank you so much for joining us, Christine. It's nice to have you join us. Yeah, now that I think about it, I think I've seen. Was she at the last Thursday night thing? Or?
Yeah, she was. Yes.
Okay, so I have met her. Okay. All right. It's always nice when our buddies show up. You know, everybody's my buddy, but
you see what she says? She says she's still in bed.
Hey, nothing wrong with that. That's the beauty of these lives, is that you don't have to even get out of bed. I mean, you can just, open your eyes, roll over, grab your phone and turn it on, and there's no shame in that there as well. Okay, my friend Gloria says she's here working. Christine is working on her Legit Kit Starry Night quilt, and that's based on a painting by some famous artist. I was showing that one to one of my exchange students, Lorenzo, because he was talking about that actual painting for some reason, and I was like, "Oh, that Legit Kit made a quilt on that." He thought it was really, really neat that they did that. So, let's see. Kathy Klein says she's working on a long-time UFO, Dear Jane, Motor Blockheads 5, and Twilight Stars quilt along. That'll keep her busy. That sounds like me. I've always got a million projects going on as well. Fallon needs to finish getting the pineapple quilt together, and hopefully my Bajello too. Those are two projects I have not done yet, but would keep me very, very busy. So, yeah, okay. Do I have my pandas handy? Yes, I do. Okay, let's see. So these are two of the pandas that I worked on a couple of weeks ago.
Oh, that must be coming from your end, Sean.
Okay, why do we always seem to have feedback issues when you and I chat?
No,
but I don't hear it.
But I am going to close a bunch of my YouTube windows. Maybe something's causing the feedback.
Okay, I don't hear anything here.
Yeah, I can hear it on this side. It's not bad. I just thought it was something maybe coming from my end.
Okay.
Oh, right. I see what it is now.
Okay.
Oops. I thought I stopped all those.
Oh, that happens to all of us. I think that even happened to Becca the other day. Like, she started the live, she's like, "Oh, we're not supposed to do this."
Yep.
Okay.
Sorry, guys, if you were hearing it, I'm sorry.
All right. Fallon said she heard a little bit, but it wasn't bad. So that's okay. Tech issues happen. It's not the end of the world. Okay, Gloria says, "Good morning, Virginia, working on some UFOs." I was meant to meet Gloria a couple of weeks ago, but she got the COVID-19, so we'll have to put that little luncheon on hold, unfortunately. But I was really looking forward to catching up with her and some of her friends. But those things, some of those things happened. Pastry Queen's Farm Adventure says, "I'm loading my long arm of my fat quarter fizz quilt I've worked on for a gift." Yeah, we're getting closer and closer to the holidays. So if you got your holiday sewing, you haven't started yet, here's your friendly reminder to get going. I try not to, because I'm always running behind and I don't like deadlines. So, says she loves my pandas. The pandas are so cute, from Fallon. Jan says she was not going to take on any more solo alongs till I finish what I have, but hey, I buckled. I don't ever say that, because every time I say I'm not taking on a new project, something else comes along. I try and say I'm going to try not to, because I am trying not to do anything new for the rest of the year, but I make no promises. So Margie says she has the llama pattern. That's a cute one by, I believe, was it Elizabeth Hartman or Art East? I mean, to me, they're both very, very similar. I love both companies. Okay, so let's see. Last week when I was on Becca's live, I made the nose pieces for two of them, and then I made some right eyes. And so I'm going to try and make some left eyes in a minute, so because I'm making two pandas at once.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah. All right. So since you're just starting on your channel, Katie, I have a question here. It says, what tips or advice would you have for anyone wanting to start their own channel?
Oh, tips. Let me think. Um,
I thought it'd be interesting to hear from you since you are still fairly new to the journey.
Hopefully when you get ready to start a channel, you already have established friendship with other YouTubers. One of the biggest things that has helped me so far is asking for help when I can't figure something out or I'm having a problem. I have Becca and Sean both have been mentoring me, and yeah, use a mentor if you can to help you, because if you're not tech savvy, it can be a little bit hard to start with. The other thing is don't be in a hurry to make a bunch of videos, because you're not going to have the time to do that. Just you know how they say, the old saying is, pick your battles. That's what you do. You pick your battle. And there's when you first put your first video up and it's not all fancy and stuff, don't worry about it. People like it when you're being real and not
Yes.
turning it into a cinematic thing.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, like your first video is like it's not gonna be great. But you can't be an expert, or you can't be really, really good until you practice something 100 times. So, if you I'm with you. Like, use the resources around you. Don't be afraid to ask for help, and just put it out there. And don't get disappointed, and don't compare yourself to others. That's something I've told.
That was the other thing. Yeah, I was going to say that.
Yeah.
Don't, just because somebody started their channel the same time you did, and you feel like you're not at the same number, don't be worrying about that. You need to have fun. If you're not having fun, then there's no point in doing it.
Right. Just quit. Yeah, because there are folks that make a lot of money on this and can make a livelihood out of it. I am not one of those, because I would go broke very, very quickly, but I'm here because I enjoy it. So, all right, let me see. I'm trying to watch my pattern, and
I thought it was. I thought it was Sean and the young men in the background talking.
Yes, that was my wife and Lorenzo. They are actually going to Amanda's school. They have an event there that they're going to do together. So yeah, there was a bit of background noise there as well. So that's all it was. Marie says she's thinking about making ornaments for her quilt guild friends. It's a pretty big undertaking, so I don't know. Yeah. If you assemble, I find if you can somehow assembly line stuff, it becomes a lot easier.
If you're making ornaments, this is what middle of October, depending on when you have to give them, don't make it too technical when you're making them, and do a little there. I'll be right back. I'm going to show you something that my husband makes while he's at sea, and he brings them home, and then I turn around and sell them at the Christmas bazaar. I'll be right back.
Oh, okay, no problem. All right, so let's see. Yeah, that's the only problem with our house. It's very much open floor space in the living areas, like our dining room, our living room, and kitchen. But it also makes it hard sometimes. Like if they're getting, a lot of times they do stuff on Saturday mornings, and will take Lorenzo or Simon's wherever they're going, and unless you're silent, you got to hear folks in the background. So, but they are on their way to the school, and they're going to have a good day. And then I'm going to take Simon out somewhere else once we're done with the live. So we're all doing different stuff today, but it's going to be a lot of fun there as well. So for anyone that's popping in, I started off doing Clues 3 of the Puzzle Mystery Quilt, the Carnival one, but I finished mine because it was fairly quick. So now I'm working on a couple of different panda blocks.
I don't know if you can see this, but
oh, that's fun.
There are stars on a ribbon type, but do you know, you've probably seen this on shipping boxes and stuff. There's this nylon kind of plastic ribbon that
Oh,
goes,
yeah. Okay.
and they keeps the boxes from opening. Well,
Yes.
they use these on the shrimp boxes when they're processing and packing the shrimps. They put bands on the 2 kilo and up boxes. He grabs a few straps every so often, and he'll, in his off time, and he's not gaming or whatever. He doesn't get to game that much because the internet on the ship is pretty bad. But he brings home these to me, and then I take them to the Christmas bazaar and sell them.
Oh, that's
And
really neat.
20 kroners, and voila.
I didn't goof this up.
Yeah, you guys, how about doing a thumbs up on Sean's channel,
Yeah.
please?
Thank you for that. Okay, I thought I messed this up last week, but apparently I didn't. So that's always good news. All right. Okay, D. Sofason. She says
Hi,
they are cool.
Diane.
Diane.
Look,
Okay, so I'm terrible with names. So if I ever miss someone in the chat, it's not intentional. It sometimes moves too quick for me. Yeah, as a guy, I'm only supposed to be able to do one thing at once. So the fact that I can talk and sew and read most of the stuff at once is pretty impressive. It's also why I ask questions, so that way focus on something else while my guest is talking. Marie says that Nikolai is so creative. I agree. And I think it's great, like if you're going to be out on a ship or something like that for that amount of time, it's good to have that creative outlet, because otherwise I would imagine you get bored very, very quickly. So I think it's awesome that he has that. Pastry Queen's Farm Adventure says, everyone have a fantastic weekend. I've got to go for my acupuncture appointment. Don't forget to hit the like button to support our quilt. Well, thank you so much for joining us. It's always great having everybody, even if you can only join us for a little bit of time. And, you know, the replay is always available as well if you want to come back and catch up on whatever you missed. So that is awesome. Okay, so last week I thought I messed this up and did the panda eyes wrong, but apparently I didn't. So I'm going to go ahead and sew this together, because I thought I had two right eyes, but if I turn it the right way, I actually just had it there a second ago, it looks like it's correct, although now I'm not so sure. No, it's right. Okay. Maybe I should press it first. Maybe that will help. All right, let's see. Has anybody, like, while we're talking about the pandas and stuff, has anyone made the pandas blocks, or have they are they planning to, or have made another Elizabeth Hartman? I've seen a couple of people talk about the llamas and that sort of thing now. But yeah, all right. I don't know. I only had one cup of coffee this morning. Apparently it's still trying to kick in. Okay, so Diane says you're one of the few that's gotten it right on the first go. Are you referring to me saying the last name? Because if so, I'm pretty impressed. I think I've said this before, but people that aren't familiar with the name Sean, like the way I spell it, they have wonderful ways of butchering it. Like a lot of people say, well, senior, that one I get, but there's a lot of folks that call looking for me at work, looking for sin.
How do they get sin out of that?
I don't know. But, you know, like, if they look for sin, they all know, everybody in my team knows who they're actually looking for. So they just tell me, hey, look, they're looking for sin. I'm like, okay, pass it over. So.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah, it is what it is. So there you go. All right. Jan's asking, what are you working on, Katy?
I am working on the large Bomb Pop Carnival PMQ. That's what I'm doing right now. Clue 3.
Yep.
And I'll show you in a few minutes when I get all of the pieces put together all the way.
Yeah, because she's making the large and I'm making the small, and the small was super easy. It was like two strips. I did the time lapse earlier this week, and I think it took me like, well, about half an hour, like I did today. So that's why I figured, well, if I finish early, I'm going to go ahead and make some panda blocks. So, because I figured there's a really, really good chance of that happening. Okay, so here is the panda eyes. Oh, that is not right.
Cool. Interesting.
Because the eye, oh, I shouldn't do that. It looks rude. This eye and this eye are not level. No, because it
doesn't
turns
look like
sideways.
it doesn't look like you have much of a 1/4 inch seam down there either.
I
Uh-oh.
see what I did. It's turned. Okay, so the question I have to ask myself is, do I pull out my very, very bestest friend and change it, or do I leave it?
That is up to you. It'll be unique having a lopsided eye. How about that?
Well, you know what? I think I need to change it because this is going to my wife Amanda, and she will notice, and it'll bug her. So, all right, Jack, come on out. That's why I said it wasn't right last week. Okay, I need to start making myself notes.
Yeah, you do, Marie, because I don't know if you know this or not, but after they do the reveal next month, the day after the reveal, we're going to have an all-day sew along with cotton cuts, and it'll give you the opportunity to come in and bring all your finished clues and sit down and sew with the rest of us. And this last time with Piazza was the first time that I hadn't missed that, and I had all my clues up to date, and I sat down, and I tell you, I put my whole PMQ together except the outside border, and I was so happy to have been able to accomplish that. That was a big deal about doing that.
Yeah, that's a lot of fun. I hadn't been to that event, but I put together when I did what was it called? So Sweet last year. Is that one right? Yes. Okay.
Yes,
So
before the Piazza.
right, I didn't do Piazza. I took Piazza off because I was in a million. I had a million different projects going on, and I was like, I really need to focus on these. So I took Piazza off, and then I did Village Green, and I'm doing Carnival now. But that was a lot of, yeah, it was nice putting it together. Last year, I grabbed a couple of my friends, and we put most of the clues together on a live this time last year. So, Jamie says it's called reverse sewing. Okay, I like that. I might have to steal that from her. I think that's a lot of fun. I'm actually caught up on my clues for Village Green, which is really neat. So I'll be ready for release day. That'll be a lot of fun there as well. So, but yeah, if you're doing Village Green, I didn't actually know about this all-day sew-along thing until Katy told me about it a little while ago. So, yeah, if you need to know anything about the Puzzle Mystery Quilt, I think Katy's your lady. Like she knows all of it.
Yeah,
So
hit me up and I'll answer as many questions as I can because yeah, I've been doing it a while. So because I
Yeah.
remember what I can tell you, I remember what it was like the first three PMQs I participated in. I had no idea that you could buy backing for your kit at a certain time, like around the 5th month, they start offering backing, or that you could add borders at, and it used to be they would offer the borders at a certain month also, but now when you sign up for a PMQ, you could actually prepay for them ahead of time, and then the extra borders that you sign up for goes in your clue 10 now instead of being put in clue 5, I think, because there was a lot of confusion about doing it so early, and people were like, well, what's this for? They had forgotten that they had already signed up for the extra border. Now, I haven't bought an extra border because I think 72 by 72 is big enough for a PMQ for me. And but they someday they might be a quilt colorway that comes along, and I'm like, I want to make that bigger. But there's all kinds of things that you can learn about cotton cuts. Cotton cuts does engage all of us by doing games, and you can do the cotton cuts color challenge, which hold on, let me show. But now I brought it up, now I'll have to show you. Okay, so every month you get a PMQ, you get one of these in it. And this is called a block of the month, but it's also a color challenge. And on the back, you color this card. But also, and when you do this, you can also actually make the block as well. And then you post them on Cotton Cuts, and you put the CC color challenge as the hashtag, and your name gets put into a drawing, and they pull people's names at each month on the 15th, because you have to have this turned in on the 15th. So on the 16th, they'll do a drawing and draw somebody's name, and whoever it is that won it gets fat quarters or whatever. They just usually it's fat quarters. You'll get a
Yeah, it's something fun.
yeah. It's always something fun, and it's worth getting it and participating in it. Right now, because if you're doing Carnival and you haven't shared your Flat Nancy, this is Flat Nancy right here. And if you take a picture with Flat Nancy and what you're working on with your PMQ, you can post it on Cotton Cuts. And also, if you go to Cotton Cuts website, there's a link that says Flat Nancy on it, and you click on that, and you answer the questions and upload a picture, and you're put into a drawing every month. Plus, by the 10th month, they will do a drawing of everybody, and they'll pull one name out of the pot, and you will win a complete PMQ kit for the fall of 2024. Yeah. No, it's for the fall 2024.
Oh, it is. Okay. All right.
Yeah,
I misread that.
Not for spring. But yeah, I mean, there's all kinds of ways to participate, and you can win something. I can't participate in that as I get my. Oh, yes, you can, Janet. Are you doing Carnival?
She is, but she's in Australia, and it takes like 3 or 4 weeks to get to her. I think it takes longer to get to her than it. Yeah, I would reach out to.
This is what Kim said. Because she knows that international people it takes a month or more to get our stuff. You can still post that clue. So if your clue came a month later and it was clue 1, and you finish making your clue, you take a picture with your Flat Nancy, and yes, ma'am, you can post it on the website and also on the Facebook group, and your name will be put into the pot. So yeah, it doesn't matter if it's a little late.
Okay, well, that's good to know, because I also had to say, yeah, reach out to them, and I'm sure they'll work something out for you, because yeah,
because she knows that some of us don't always get it as fast as all the people in the US.
Well, sometimes in the US, like if the postal service is not being very friendly, it can take us a week or 2 to get it as well. So yeah, they're pretty good about making concessions in that sort of respect there as well. Wait a
minute, hold on a second. Janet, you said you're missing clue 1?
Missing that one. She'll tell us in a second. Yeah, this is okay. So I am actually getting the border kit for this particular colorway, the small. Normally the 45 by 60 is a great size for me. It's a hair on the small side because I'm like 6'5", but I find it's a good lap size quilt for me. But the reason that I asked for the border kit this time around with the bomb pop in this, which is the red, white, and blue, is I intend to donate this quilt to Quilts of Valor when it's all said and done, like once it's all quilted and everything else. But I was looking on their website, and they do have a minimum quilt size for donation, and it's a little bit bigger than the 45 by 60. But if I do the borders around the edge, it will qualify. So I will be getting the border pieces, I believe, with clue 10. And so that way, once I finish it, I can go ahead and be donated to Quilts of Valor. So,
well, that's outstanding, Sean.
Well, I figure, I get blessed with this fabric. I get blessed with the kit, and I want to pay it forward. So I think it's a really neat way for me to be able to give back. So that's kind of been my inspiration behind this. And I'm doing the same thing with Village Green. With that purple quilt that I'm making in the lavender, it's going to get donated as well. I'm thinking, maybe one of the women's shelters or something like that, maybe would be a good home for it. I'm still deciding exactly where it's going to go, but that's kind of the intention at this present time there as well.
You're not going to keep any of them for yourself?
The So Sweet I will. Because that's one I purchased myself, and it's my first one.
Oh,
but yeah, I think, like, unless there's one I really, really, really can't live without, I think as long as I'm an ambassador for Cotton Cuts for the PMQ, my intention is to donate them.
Okay.
Because
outstanding.
Because at some point you got to have so many quilts in your house that you'll never be able to use them all. And my greatest love of making a quilt is seeing it get used. And if I have 17 puzzle mystery quilts laying around that aren't getting used, they're not really fulfilling their purpose.
Yeah, I understand that.
Does that make, if that makes sense?
Yeah.
So yeah, like I made a baby quilt for one of my colleagues a couple of years ago. It was actually a gift from our whole team. Like everyone chipped in and gave me some money for fabric and that sort of thing there. And it was a cute little circus train, and with all pinks and everything else. And the child is now 2 years old. And my coworker came to me, I don't know, a month or two ago. This was like the cutest thing. I absolutely thought, oh, that's wonderful.
These colors
said,
are really nice.
Like his daughter goes to a daycare, and he said, you know, like they always have to take a blanket. And the only one she ever wants to take is the quilt that we made her. And I was like, that is the best thing. Like I could not have heard a better thing that day, because it's getting used. I said, look, if that thing ever gets a hole in it or it falls apart, I will make you another one. Like I love seeing my quilts being used. That's all I ever ask. Like, don't take a quilt from me and shove it in a cupboard somewhere because you're worried about it getting broken. If it breaks, I'll applique something over it, or I'll make you another one. There's nothing more I love than seeing it being used. I don't know about anybody else, but that's how I feel. Marie says she donates most of her quilts to a women's shelter. It helps young girls that have nowhere to go, that are in an abusive lifestyle situation. And that's kind of what my thing with the lavender one was too. I thought it'd be, you know, it may help comfort someone that's gone through an absolutely horrendous time. So I think that's where it's going to end up going. So we'll have to get it, you know, obviously pieced and quilted and that sort of thing there. So it might not happen anytime in the immediate future. That's where I want it to go eventually. So, all right. So these are the little eye pieces I'm making. I'm making them both left eyes, since I've already got two right eyes. Okay. Sandra, is there a cat astronaut pattern? I have to find that. Yes, there is. That's a cute pattern. I can't remember if it was Art East or Elizabeth Hartman. It's one of the two. They have some really, really cute patterns. It's a lot of cutting. I will not lie in that respect. If you don't like cutting, those patterns are probably not for you, unless you can find a friend that will cut all the fabric for you. It's hard, yeah, but to me, that's almost like the hardest part sometimes. Once you get it all cut, then you're all set to go. And keeping organized is good too. I think that's key with these projects, with all these little pieces. You can get the alphabetties, I think is what they call it. But what I did is I just printed out a sheet of paper and with 1-inch squares in Excel and put the different letters on there as well. And then I just clip it all together. You know, just like that. Yeah, nothing fancy. It does the trick. I have about 3 sets of them. So that way I can cut out multiple projects at once. And it's been working like a charm for me. So, all right, let's see. And then I think Fallon is, if I remember correctly, on one of her last lives, I think she is selling something similar on her website. Is that correct, Fallon?
Hi, Dragonfly, or Donna.
Donna, it's always good to see Donna. She is a wonderful, wonderful lady.
I'm still learning people's names.
Oh, me too. Like if I don't remember your name, please remind me. I am terrible at names. I've actually gotten a lot better at remembering names since starting this channel. Like this has been an absolute wonderful blessing for me, because I'm getting a lot better. Like I do start remembering people's names, but if I do forget, I apologize in advance, and just, you know, just keep in mind that I am terrible at names. So I am trying my best. Everyone has to remember one name for me, but I got to remember, like, you know, 100 or more. So it's not quite as easy. So yeah, okay. Ginger says, I add a note with my quilts that say to love it, roll around on the ground, wear it out. That's a nice idea. I like that. I might have to start doing that. But yeah, I always tell everybody when they get the quilt, please use it. You know, like, it's not, it doesn't go in the curio cabinet. It does, please excuse it. Like, if I see it's worn out in 2 years, then because it's been used every day, then it's done its job.
I've seen comments about that somebody's given a quilt to someone and that someone would let her dogs lay on it in the house. And I'm like, what difference does it make who lays on it?
Oh, every time. So that's funny that you mentioned that, because every time I go to take a photo of a completed quilt top or a completed quilt, usually Finley's in it. Because I lay it down. I don't have the design wall. I don't have the space in my house for one. I just lay it down usually on the living room floor, and it looks beautiful there because I have the new laminate flooring on there as well, so it's got a nice backdrop. But yeah, as soon as I lay it down, Finley's like, "Oh, okay, cool. I've got a quilt for me to sit on." So she always hops on. It's kind of fun having. I always take a photo without her on it, but if she starts sitting on it, the first photo I usually take is her sitting on it. So Bandit did the same thing when we had him. He loved sitting on a quilt. Sometimes when I was quilting it, he would sit on it because like it'd hang on the ground. Remember there was one time I was there trying to quilt something and it was really, really heavy. I was trying to pull the quilt up, and then there was like a 25-pound dachshund sitting on it. It's like, oh, geez. So okay, let's see. Sandra D says Cat Astronaut is Elizabeth Hartman, but Art East has a Space Bacon, which is a pig astronaut. Also want that one. Me too. Like, I really think I just need to give John and Matt my credit card details and say, just send me one of each pattern that you have. So there you go. Fallon says, yes, they are sold out though. Ours have holes so you can pin them to the fabric. They should be back in stock soon. So yeah, if you're looking for a nice professional product, for like the little alphabetties and that sort of thing, then you want to support a small business, head over to Fallon's channel, Fallon's website, and they'll be back in stock soon. So yeah, I think that's a great option there as well. Marie says Space Bacon made me giggle. Christine is asking is how and when did you start quilting? That is an excellent question, and I'd love to answer that. I started back in 2013. I went to the State Fair of Virginia, because it was something we wanted to do, and it's something I loved doing as a kid. We went to the fair all the time. We thought it'd be fun to see what Virginia had to offer. And we walk into the exhibition hall where they have all the arts and crafts competitions. And I saw all the beautiful quilts there, and I was like, I want to give this a try. And I thought, yeah, maybe I'm crazy, but let me see if this is something I want to do. And so a few months passed. Apparently, I talked about it enough over the last couple of months because the fair's in September, October, Christmas is in December, obviously, that on Christmas Day, my wife had bought me this sewing machine as a gift and said, go start quilting. And it's just been kind of, I've run with it ever since. So that is the Reader's Digest version of how I started quilting. I took home ec in high school, hated every moment of it. So if my home ec teacher ever found that I was a quilter now and had a YouTube channel, she'd probably fall out of a chair. So, all right. Ginger says her son is goofy and a chef, so he'd love Space Bacon. Oh yeah, you need to make that. Maybe you and I should make that as a solo or a collab together sometime, Ginger. Send me an email. Maybe we'll make that happen next year. I think that'd be fun because I'd love to do that pattern. That's what I was going to talk to you about too, Katy. Talking about collabs and everything else. I love seeing all the interviews you've been doing recently.
Yeah, I've been having a lot of fun with those.
Do you want to tell the viewers, because I'm assuming not everybody's seen those. So do you want to tell the viewers that may not know about some of the guests that you've had on as during an interview, and who else that you may want to have in the future?
When I started my channel, all I had for content was just stuff of Greenland, and I wanted to make sure that I started getting quilty stuff up, as soon as I could. And I thought of an idea. Well, why don't I just interview some either quilt influencers or quilt creators or quilt designers, if possible. And so I sent an email to Kim Moose of Cotton Cuts, because everybody in Cotton Cuts knows who I am. It's funny. But I wrote her an email and she answered it. I asked her if I told her I was starting a channel and I needed some quilt content, and could I interview her. And with her interviewing, we did it in 4 parts because I had lots of questions I wanted to ask. And so over a couple of months, we did 4 recordings, 4 parts. And I got to ask a lot of questions that, most of us don't get to ask a business owner who's in the quilt industry. And I really had a lot of fun doing that with her. And then my next interview I did was with Becca, because I've known Becca since 2018. I've been following her all that time since 2018. And I had a really good time doing it with her. And, I asked similar questions, but, Becca doesn't have a business, but Becca's an YouTube influencer. Plus, she makes quilts and she also makes patterns. And she has Zoom things for those of us who are part of her group. Sorry. So I started looking around and I started emailing different creators and influencers. I did Sean. I have done Ian.
Martha.
Danny.
And Danny. Yep.
There's somebody else I've done. Oh, I've done Donna Handmade with Ying. And one of the biggest things that happened, besides the Kim Moose ones, is I got to interview Yvette of the Yvette Renee channel.
She's a lovely lady. I love all the people that you've mentioned so far. And, I just think it's great that you've been able to grab a lot of these, like, as you said, influencers and content creators and that sort of thing there as well. And I'm excited to see who else that you have coming up in the near future. And I'm going to put it out there as well. If you are a content creator and would like to be featured on Katy's channel, please reach out to her. She would love to interview you. And
yeah, it's a lot of fun, and I try to keep it real, I guess.
Yeah. You have a fun style with it, and you pre-record them, and then she releases it as a premiere, usually on a Wednesday evening. So that way, you don't have to be live necessarily. And then you guys can kind of coordinate a time and date that suits the two of you. So if you have if you have a channel and would like to hang out with Katy for a little while, just reach out to her, and she'll be more than happy to set something out for you. And here's another question for you as well: is how close are you to 1,000 subscribers?
You guys, I'm 108 away from the 1,000 mark.
That is super exciting. I remember when I was at like the 900, 950, like you're always like this close to it, but you feel like so far away.
Yeah,
so,
it's like turned into this little snail going up the hill.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah,
but,
and I'm making a joke about it because it's quite amusing how, for like 2 weeks it was you could see the numbers turning, and then the last week or so it's been 2 here, 2 there, but I am not complaining. I am so thankful that all of y'all are supporting my channel because it's so new, and I uploaded my first video at the beginning of June, and so I'm not even 6 months in yet, and you guys are so cool for doing this. Yes, I want to do the quilting Marine. I'm going to send him an email. I'll do it tonight or tomorrow.
Yeah. He's I think he's a little busy. I actually snagged him last year for my quilt trunk show that I did. And Mark is just the sweetest guy, but I know he's extremely, extremely busy. So it may take him a while to get back to you, but yeah, definitely reach out to him. If you can get a hold of him and do an interview, it's going to be absolutely fantastic. So
yeah, I have on my list to go send an email to for, where did I just see that at? So the distance. Yes, I'm going to inquire into that with her too.
Yeah,
I just didn't know her name.
Yeah, that's Fallon. She's been here in the chat recently. She's actually one of the first YouTubers that I started watching back in the day. Like before I even found Becca, I found Fallon. And she's a lovely lady. Yeah, so definitely reach out to her. And yeah, there's so many of our friends that you can reach out to. And there's a lot that would be happy to talk to you and that sort of thing there. Tamika says, I want to start doing interviews on other people's channels. Okay, yeah. Tamika, reach out to Katy.
Be happy
Tamika's I love Tamika. She's a lovely lady. She also designed the project book, the diary, the book that you keep your like a quilt journal, like so you can keep a record of what quilts you've made. It's a wonderful book. It's available for sale on Amazon, and the thing I like about it is it's a fairly it has the information you need in it, but it isn't overwhelming, and it's affordable too. It's like $5.99. Oh, soda distance isn't found. I always get those two confused. They're friends. And I started following, yes, okay. So soda distance is Chris. So be it quilt is Fallon. See, I always get things confused. I told you I'm bad with names. Yeah, okay, so there you go. So see, I make mistakes and I'm happy to admit them. So there you go. Yeah, so yeah, definitely Tamika, yeah, reach out to Katy. She'd love to hang out with you for a little while. So
Yeah, I'll be happy to do one with you. Definitely.
yeah, so
anyone that wants to do me on their channel, sure, let's do it.
Yeah, I love collaborating with other people. Like especially my lives, it's always so much more fun. Like I love the people in the chat, but it's always fun to actually have someone to talk to, and actually hear a voice as well. So
yeah, and not everybody knows who I am. I've kind of like congregated around a specific group, and I'm just now, since I opened my channel, I realized, there's things that I should be doing. I've been watching Becca since 2018. And I like all her videos, but I never make comments in the comment section down below the description box. It never occurred to me that I needed to say something. And so I have been really cognizant recently of when I watched one of their videos, I've put something down below. Hey, I liked your video, or hi from where I'm at, whatever it takes to let that person know. And it also is good for the channel because what do you call it?
It's engagement.
Yeah, it engages and it puts the channel up in the area where movement is seen by the whatever YouTube uses.
Yeah, because anytime you hit the like button or leave a comment or anything else like that, it shows YouTube that you're actually actively engaging in the channel, and it does help us out immensely. Like you can only subscribe to a channel once, but you can like every video. So every time you hit that like button, it does actually make a difference. And that's why a lot of us ask you to like the videos. It's not that we want to annoy you or harass you. It really, really helps us out. So, and I know it's hard if you're watching on a TV, but if you're watching on your phone or your tablet, laptop, that sort of thing there as well, it's fairly easy to do. And I get into practice now. Like I figure if someone's taken the time to make a video, I'll go ahead and like it, because, not every video is going to be perfect. Some of us are starting our journey. Some of us are very, very polished and have been doing it a long time and know exactly what they're doing. That's not me. That sort of thing there as well. But yeah, if you can, that's great. And if you don't like the video, then I hope you find what you're looking for. You can hit the dislike if you really want to, and occasionally folks do, but that's okay too. I'm not everybody's cup of tea, and if it's not your cup of tea, I do just hope that you find the videos that you are looking for. So there you go. All right. So did I miss anything on the chat? Probably, because I'm very distracted. But I did make a couple of left eyes. Look, I actually did what I didn't do last time, and I'll have to square this one up here because it's like a wonky mess. But it happens. So we'll probably continue making that in a little bit. Probably off camera because we're getting close to goodbye time. So how are you progressing with your clue?
There's a lot to do. There's a lot to sew together on this second part.
Okay.
I can show the first part if you want me to.
Yeah, let's do that because people have been filtering in.
Yep, let me give it a good press before I show it.
Okay, not a problem. Okay, so Jan is asking when the next guild meeting is. It's going to be the last Sunday of this month. So that's going to be Sunday, the 29th of October, if my dates are correct, at 8 p.m. Or for you, Jan, it's going to be 8 a.m. on Monday, the 30th. But unless you're over in Western Australia, don't pay any attention to the Monday, the 30th. It's going to be Sunday, the 29th at 8 p.m. Eastern for everybody else. So... all right. So Marie says that's why she always went to college because she's not super tech savvy. But yeah, there we go. All right. So, but yeah, what I've been I'll show what I did before. because I got this finished in like 35 minutes. This is clue section, blah, blah, blah. Get this right in a minute. Can I hit the restart button? No, this is alive. Oops. Okay, section 3A, because I'm doing the small and Katie's doing the large, so ours are going to look a little different. And then section 3B, it's a nice long strip. Okay, Katie, and why don't you show us what you have done so far?
This is going to be labeled 3A. So this is the first part of the clue.
Oh, very nice.
So if I don't know if Sean mentioned it, but when we're putting clues together, because we don't know what our final product's going to look like until the 10th month. So when you're putting clues together, and as you get down to where it tells you to label, see right here, see this is the finished part of the first part of the clue.
Yeah.
And then you label it. This one says to label this one 1A. And then over here, when you finish the next part down here, it'll say label this 1B. And I've learned this after I didn't really start doing this until I think the third PMQ. This matters when you label it, because when you hit the 10th month and she drops the whole clue of putting it together, if you don't label it, it's going to take you twice as long to set it up on your design board or however you're going to piece it. And if you don't have it labeled, it becomes very confusing.
That's very true, because
so that's
sometimes
the other tip I wanted to share is that's important.
Yeah, especially for because I'm looking at the small clue here. Sometimes like the F is not like it's showing very dark in this clue here. That's not always your darkest color, depending on which colorway you're doing, especially with the lavender. Like that's a great example. So what I do is I kind of cheat. I'm lazy. I don't want to label my stuff, so I don't. But what I do is I put everything back. I'll show you in a second. Once I finish my clue, I put him back in the little bag it comes in. And so I can see it says clues 3 here at the bottom. And then I put him back in. I just put this back in I have a drawer that I put these all in. And so when clue 10 comes out, it might say sections 3A or 3B, but I can just pull it out of out of the 3 bag, and I can tell which one's 3A and 3B pretty quickly. So I don't necessarily label mine, but I put them back in the baggies where they once came from. So that way I know which one's which. But like, you do what works for you. There's a different.
Because I get confused easy.
And that's perfectly fine. Yeah, if I think Ian does. He labels his. A lot of people do label it, but I figure I can look at the clue and differentiate between the A and B fairly quickly. Jan says she puts the clues back in the bag they come in. So yeah, I mean, that I figure it's fun to be able to tell you a couple of different ways of doing it, or you may have your own method which works for you.
Let me show you what I do. Yeah, I'll show you so you can have another example. I have these totes, and when I finish, so this is my Village Green box, and hang on, let me take the top stuff off, because I have oops kits in here also, and I take clips, or I'll just fold the paper in half and fasten it.
Yeah.
And I put them in this tote, but all of them are still labeled, because I have a design wall, and when I go to start putting them up there, if I take the label off, it's possible that I will put the block in the wrong place.
Yeah.
Because that's how my brain works. Because I've put the block in the wrong place because I didn't have it labeled.
Yeah, no, that's great. I mean, if labeling helps you out, definitely do that. But if you're lazy like me, there is another option as well.
Yeah, and the funny thing is I don't pull the labels off until the whole quilt is sewn.
Yeah,
the whole top is sewn, and then I take them all off of it. So if you're on my Facebook friends list and you go and look at some of my PMQs that's been on the wall and you see labels on it, that's what those are.
Yeah. Yeah. At the end of the day, do what works best for you. And that, yeah.
But I think with newbies though, you really should do it until you get the hang of the PMQ. because
Yeah.
you will get confused if you don't.
That's
Unless you're an
really,
advanced sewer and you know what you're doing, put it that way.
yeah. And then take your time putting it together. Like I don't think I didn't have to rip out anything for So Sweet, but I came close a couple of times of putting in the wrong direction because, you know, so a lot of times there's like the square blocks. So yeah, when you put it together, just take your time, look at the pattern, look at the different colors, and make sure you put it in the right spot, because yeah, sometimes the darkest is not always the darkest, you know. So there you go. Tamika says I keep them in one bag, pin the instructions to each finished block. Oh, that's another idea too. So yeah, there's different ways of doing it. I love hearing the different ways people do this. So, but yeah, I mean, I just put it back in the bag because, you know, it's how it is. And I keep them all in a drawer as well. Like I have a 12 drawer cabinet behind me, which you can't really see, but that's okay. And each puzzle mystery quilt has its own little drawer. And then once it's all done, you know, I clear it out, ready for the next one. So,
can I ask a question to the group?
yeah, sure.
I wanted to have input. Can you see me sewing on my machine, and how does it look close enough? I mean, what's your visual on that?
Yeah, I'd like to hear the answer for me as well. I think I've got mine set up pretty well. I haven't been watching, to be honest, but I think like from the angle that I can see, it looks pretty good, Katie. But let's see what the audience has to say for us real quick.
Yeah,
while
this is
waiting
the
for
first time me trying it this way.
Yeah, I think it's great. Like I've gotten a lot of feedback from I want to say customers, but they're viewers. I'll get it right in a minute. I work too much apparently. That they like being able to see what we're sewing. So I think it was great that you were able to set this up with us this morning. But do you have any fun interviews coming up? Do you have anything exciting that you want to share that's coming up on your channel that the viewers should head over and take a look at?
I sent an email to her name is spelled Irene, but she says Irena. She lives in the Netherlands, and she's a YouTube creator, but she's a quilter also, and she's turned her quilter stuff into a business. So she sells fabric. I'll show you her book in case you haven't seen her book. Where did I lay that book at? But the name of her channel is called Sugary Doo.
Oh, yes. Okay.
Yeah, so yesterday I wrote an email to her asking if we could do a collaboration together, and I sent a I don't know what I did with the book yet. I'll find it in a minute. But when I first started out doing the quilting thing, in late 2019, I stumbled onto a YouTube video from her, and she was talking about her 2020 year-long Bernina Sugary Doo quilt along, and that Bernina was sponsoring it, and Bernina was going to give away 2 sewing machines and other little smaller prizes. And all you had to do was participate the entire year with it. And so I did the first one. That was our first one. And so when I wrote her an email yesterday, because I wanted her to, I had said that I participated in it, I sent her a photograph of my quilt top.
Right.
And so I know she's really busy, and she may never answer my email. I don't know, but we'll wait and see. But right now I don't have an interview set up just yet for the next one. I've got to find somebody to interview, and that might take me a couple more days to figure that out.
Yep.
When did you order your book, Janet?
I don't know. She'll answer us in a second, because it's also on a 20-second delay, so she might not see it for just a moment. But yeah, she also mentioned that she can see the sewing machines great, so that's awesome. I like being able to show you guys what I'm sewing at the same time, because it's almost impossible to show everything in one camera view. So I think it works out nice. But I think with that, we'll go ahead and wrap this up in just a moment. I will have my next Blogtober post come out tonight. She said she ordered it a month ago.
Okay.
At 6 p.m. I've been doing a daily video for each day in October, and I've been just showcasing a different quilt that I saw at the Mid-Atlantic Quilt Show this year. Each video is between like a minute and 2 minutes long. It's super short. And it's been a lot of fun showcasing all the beautiful quilts that I saw at the show this year. Tomorrow morning, I'll have my podcast as usual. Come check that out, and definitely head over and check out Katy's channel. Check out all the beautiful videos she's done of Greenland and the interviews and everything else she's coming up. And if you haven't subscribed, definitely head over and check out the channel. And if it's something that you like, hit that like button and subscribing, hopefully get her a little closer to 1,000, because she's been doing a wonderful job. She's been rising up the ranks really, really quickly, which has been really, really fun to watch and see her grow with her channel as well. So
Also,
Laura, it's good to see you. Go ahead.
Also, since I'm not totally finished with my clues because I'm a slow sewer and I talk too much, but I will post the final product of the clue 3 on my community tab of my channel. That way you can
That'll be
see
fun.
what I had done, because you can post pictures and make comments in the community tab. And so for those of you who are not on my friends list in Facebook or whatever, you will find it there on my community tab, and I'll make sure I get it up by tomorrow.
All right, excellent. That'd be fun. And then you've already seen mine, but I'll show it again probably on my podcast tomorrow. All right. So Laura, definitely head back and check out the replay. Donna says, for October. And Joyce says, I hope everyone has a great weekend. So with that, we'll go ahead and
there is something I can't tell you what it's going to be yet, but I can let you know there's something. Me and Danny of So Not an Expert collaboration that we're going to do in December. So stay tuned for that from my channel.
Yeah, that's going to be a lot of fun. I already know the deets on that, but I'm not going to spill the beans either. So
no spilling the beans.
I won't spill the beans. I don't want to spoil the surprise, but that's something you guys will want to watch. I think it's going to be a lot of fun watching the two of them hang out together in December. So definitely keep an eye out for that. There's going to be a lot of fun stuff going on in December. So
and the other thing, as far as what I'll be doing, that'll be just me. I am going to do the Sew Along with Sugary Do from the book. And so I will be making short videos as I progress, because each month she'll tell you which blocks that we're going to be making, and I will make them, and I'll make sure that I put them in a video. And I will also be writing a blog on my blog page. My blog name is Living Greenland, so you should be able to find it easily. And I write blogs over there about all kinds of things, but I definitely will be writing a blog about that year-long quilt-along as well. And it's all paper piecing, so this should be interesting for me because I've only done a little bit of paper piecing.
Me too. It'll be fun to watch you do. I can't take on another project right now, so I'm going to sit there and live vicariously through you. Michelle the Quilter says this was enjoyable. Thank you both. I'm subscribed to both of you. Enjoy your content. Well, thank you so much for that, Michelle. I really appreciate that.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate it.
Yep. But thank you for joining me today. Katy, it was really good having you, but we do need to run away because I know you have stuff to do. I have other stuff to do as well. I've got videos to record. I got to take Simon out for a little adventure as well, so that's gonna be a lot of fun. But I will see everybody hopefully tonight around 6 p.m. for Vlogtober Day 14. We're almost halfway done. And tomorrow morning for podcast number, I think it's 94. I'm almost at 100. Can you believe that? Like 100 episodes. But,
can I say one more thing too before you close it? If you go to my community tab, well, I'm thinking of the best way for you to do this. I'll tell you what, I'll post just a short little post on my community tab today. If you guys have ideas of something you would like to see, or you have an idea of somebody you think would be great for me to interview, you can make a comment on that community post. I'll do that right away after we shut down. And you can come and put your 2 cents in, and maybe it'll be some idea I didn't come up with that you might come up with. It'll be easy enough for me since I'm new to all of this. And thank you guys for signing up and helping us.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, definitely. Always good. Yeah, we always love hearing your ideas. Whether it's Katie or myself, I might not be able to do everything that people suggest, but I love hearing your
Yeah.
ideas because half of the content the stuff that's been really successful for me has been viewer inspired. So yeah, always reach out and tell us, because I don't have all the best ideas, and sometimes it comes from you guys. But with that, we really do need to run away. Otherwise, we'll be here until 1 o'clock this afternoon, and then I'll be in a lot of trouble. So thank you all for joining us. I hope you all have a great day. Happy sewing, and we'll see you next time.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.